All right, guys, welcome back to Kamisha Reviews. We are going to talk about Jonathan Major. We're going to talk about the interview and everything. So, hold on. Wait a minute. What did I do? We're going to play the interview like we do. My bad, y'all. My bad.
He sat down exclusively with me for his first interview since his arrest, discussing the relationship at the center of the trial, the role that he says race played, and why he didn't take the stand. Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened um, in my personal life, in my career, um, in the culture, and conversely, the impact of this. It's about responsibility and coming forward and being brave and giving my part of the story.
In an ABC News exclusive, actor Jonathan Majors sat down with me in his first interview since a jury handed down a guilty verdict for reckless harassment, a misdemeanor, and a violation of harassment in the second degree.
You know, I haven't seen my daughter in a long time. You know, and a lot of it has to do with this.
Wow. So, he said he hadn't seen his daughter in a long time. Wait a minute. Is this not playing over here? Hold on. It is. He said he hadn't seen his daughter. Can y'all hear this? Let me make sure y'all can hear this. Okay, y'all can. Just double checking. Okay. Hold on. Let me okay, let me continue to play. I'm just making sure y'all can hear everything.
Situation. It all has to do with the situation, and she needs to see this, and the hard things need to be done. But it's been hard. You know, everything's kind of gone away.
The 34-year-old actor was a rising star.
This is our family story.
Known for his roles in HBO's Lovecraft Country, Creed 3,
I'm coming for everything.
and Marvel productions like last year's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
You're an interesting man. Scott Lang.
And it was on that movie set back in 2021 where he met 30-year-old British dancer Grace Jabari. The pair dated until March of 2023 when Majors called 911 the day after a fight that was caught on surveillance video.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious. She's my ex-partner. We broke up. I came back. She sent me text messages insinuating as much. I stayed in a hotel last night. I came home this morning.
Police found Jabari on the closet floor of their apartment. Majors was arrested by New York City police, accused by Jabari of assault, strangulation, and harassment. Convicted last month, but acquitted of 1 count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment, meaning the jury didn't believe he assaulted her intentionally. Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked, and afraid. I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the process.
I'm going to say something really quick. I don't know if he should have done this interview. I do not think Jonathan Majors should have done this interview. I think that the comments and things that I have seen, because he knows they're going to watch his body language, they're going to watch everything that he does, and they weren't happy with the interview. Too many pauses.
The prosecution's evidence. let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
After the verdict, in a statement, Jabari's attorney wrote in part, "Justice was finally served today, proving that the truth can prevail even in the face of power. Grace did not choose to be in this situation. Grace has been publicly attacked as a result of her courage to testify to the truth, but her unwavering resolve to see this case through to the end was born out of her desire to give other survivors similar."
First of all, saying that she was publicly attacked, you know, I'm sorry. This whole Karen, let's say the Karen syndrome, it gets on my nerves. I'm sorry, it does. Now, I don't approve of any domestic anything. I don't care who it is. Do not approve of it. When I sanction on it, I even spoke out when this first came out, and I said, him standing yelling at her about the whole be like, Coretta Scott King, he pissed me off with that. Why is the black man, are you standing over this woman telling her to be like Coretta Scott King when black women can't get to that standard? I'm just being honest. So why would you ask her, somebody who you had to even tell her who that even was? And if she goes out with friends, I don't think a man, any man, has a right to tell a woman, if she goes out, like I said, I'm going to say, preface by saying this, I understand his position because he is in the limelight, and obviously things she does can be attracted back to him. So I do understand some of what he was saying to her and why. But he lost me with the Coretta Scott King. And please, I wouldn't even put her in a picture next to Coretta Scott King. Are you crazy? He brought a lot of this stuff on himself. I'm sorry for who don't want to hear it. Then you go choose a black woman after the fact. I'm sorry who don't want to hear this.
Similar courage when justice requires.
The prosecution has described your relationship with Grace Jabari as tumultuous and abusive. How would you describe that 2-year relationship?
I loved Grace. Our relationship was, it was not healthy, and that began to reveal itself over time, but there was no abuse.
In court, Jabari claimed she sustained head injuries, but never said how she received them. Entered into evidence, these partially
Oh, I didn't remember seeing these text messages. Okay, it says it's just fake. And you have, I fear, have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions, as I don't think you actually protect us. It could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something. I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be with you? Yeah, I ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. I feel like you want to be together, as in not to embarrass yourself for everything you've said to your friends and family. Last night, I considered taking myself out versus coming home. Wow. So wait, who is the blue her? Wait, I would tell a doctor I bumped my head. I go. Okay, so to me, at the end when she says it's clear, this is her. It's clear that I want to be with you. So to me, and I'm sorry who doesn't like this, regardless of the things that may or may not have happened, and we weren't privy to that, we weren't in the room. To me, it also sounds like that she is on a revenge tour with him. The initial argument started with her grabbing his phone because there was a text message from another woman. I don't know if Megan Good. I don't know if it was just somebody random. I don't know. An Instagram DM, who knows? But it started with that. A jealousy for her to chase this man all the way down the street, regardless of what anybody says. How is that it's in evidence, but you still say, oh, it's nothing? He has scratches on his ear and his neck. Oh, it's nothing. I don't understand that. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to look at both sides of the story when I break things down.
Redacted text messages from September of 2022. Majors writes, "It's just fake. And I fear you have no perspective of what could happen if you go to the hospital. They will ask you questions. And as I don't think you actually protect us, it could lead to an investigation, even if you do lie and they suspect something." Jabari responds in part, "I will tell the doctor I bumped my head. If I go, I'm going to give it one more day, but I can't sleep and I need some stronger painkillers. That's all. Why would I want to tell them what really happened when it's clear I want to be
When it's clear, I want to be with you.
with you?"
This is literally a nightmare. I don't know what happened. I don't know what injuries you're talking about.
The July incident, 2022, where she says you started throwing things, including a candle.
Okay. Jonathan, now look. The amnesia thing on TV, sir, you cannot do that. Do you not see what happened to you? Are you forgetting the color? I'm not understanding the amnesia and the size. I'm going to be completely transparent. This interview actually made Jonathan Majors, to me, look more guilty. I'm not saying that he is. I said look more guilty. I think he should not have done the interview. NBC wanted that done. I'm sorry, ABC wanted that done because it's on their dime. Disney's attached to this. They're controlling the narrative.
Tell us what happened there.
You know, we were in an argument. I was on the other side of the room, away from her, as I think she testified. And by my bedside table, I did a sweep, and I knocked over my candles. I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. What she also said is that afterwards I wept and cried in the corner and said I was sorry and this. And I was, and I am.
The prosecution said you allegedly wrote, "I'm a monster, a horrible man, not capable of love. I'm killing myself soon. I've already put things in motion." Were you suicidal?
Okay, so like, I don't. I don't know. Yeah, this. I do feel like that this put him through a lot. He knew he was going to lose everything. He knew he was. There was so many things Jonathan Majors could have done. So many.
I've been diagnosed with severe depression, and I'm taking the steps needed to alleviate, some of those symptoms, ideations of removing myself from situations permanently is a thought that I've had, since I was a kid.
It all came to a head.
Well, one thing I will say, I am happy that he is seeing somebody, because black men don't talk about mental health. Black men do not talk about wanting to remove themselves permanently. They just do not. I have to admit, I like the transparency. It's showing black men being so transparent. Some things I like about it, this interview, but a lot that I do not.
In March of last year, when Jabari and Majors got into a fight, much of it captured on surveillance video and used as evidence in the trial. Jabari testified that it all began when Majors received a text from another woman. He says it read, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you."
So let's go back to March 25th for a moment. You and then girlfriend Grace Jabari are in the backseat of a chauffeured car. She sees a text from another woman. Things seem to spiral from there.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Yeah, the text from another woman. Again, I said at the beginning, I did that. I did that. I cop to it. I show her, right? It's in my hand. She grabs it. We scuffle for the phone. I pull the phone back. I receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life.
Mm.
I pick her up. I put her back in the car.
Yep.
I'm trying to get rid of
Yep.
her. I'm
That
trying to
that
get away from her.
the thing about it is, I'm gonna tell you something. As a mother of boys, he should have never put he should have even put her in the vehicle. Why do all that? When any man, you could ask any man. If their woman about to act crazy because she saw text messages, he's immediately gone. Whether it be, I'm driving off, and I'm telling you actual things that has happened, not to me, but just, well, a little bit. But some people, just, even if you watch things or know people, will walk out the house and leave and drive away and go somewhere else. Remove themselves from the situation. You know what I'm saying? Your girl is tripping, going crazy. It's a text messages, some other girl. I'm removing myself. Because so many things can happen. Because a girl mad like that, she's not gonna care that you're a man. She's gonna come after you. She's gonna be in your face. She know you're not gonna do anything to her. She's gonna go in. She's gonna do all this extra stuff to keep yourself from being in a position. Walk away. Leave. Don't even touch her in no capacity, especially on camera. So let me see. Let me go back a little bit.
Receive my injuries. I open the door. I step out. She comes. Then one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I pick her up.
Yes, because I do believe that when he picked her up and put her in there, and this is a frail woman, he's very strong. And I bruise and stuff by walking into a door, or tripping over a shoe, or whatever. So looking at it, it looks violently. He's putting her back in the car, trying to keep her in there. And I said it before, she is a very strong little woman because she's fighting against everything of what he's doing. She's fighting against it. I would like to know who was in that car right there, the other car. Anyway, she's fighting against it. I do believe she probably got injuries when he put her back into the vehicle. That's there's no way he perfectly put her in there. If she's fighting against it, she may have scraped herself or something against the car, anything. If there was keys or something, it could be a lot of things. There's a lot happening in that moment. He shouldn't have done anything. He should have ran. When he ran the way he did, immediately when he got the car, he should have ran. He should have ran to the police station. I'm sure he had his phone, GPS, the little walking thing. Where's the police station at? Or he could have went somewhere else, got to a point where she didn't know where he was, got an Uber, and went to the police station. So many things could have happened. Now, mind you, I'm not there. A lot of things happened in the moment. I understand that. I do. But we can break it down. Hindsight 2020. And the thing about it, I've had these conversations with my boys. I've talked to them. Most women have talked to guy friends, their dude in their life, whatever. Do not put your hands on anyone. Remove yourself from the situation. They have no evidence. They have nothing if you're not there.
I put her back in the car. I'm trying to get rid of her. I'm trying to get away from her. As the video shows, everything calms. We get out. We walk across the street. I escort her across the street. The moment we get across the street.
Oh, yes, he did. I was wondering why. And I still don't. When she got out of the car, it's like, okay, it's not funny. But I didn't understand when she didn't want to go or whatever in the vehicle. And they walked across the street like a couple. And then as soon as they get to the curb, it's on. To me, I would have got to the curb. The camera's recording me. If I was the man, I would have stood there. I'll tell you why. If I'm standing there all they're going to see is me standing there and you doing the most on camera. I'm just going to stand here. You can yell, you can scream, get mad, whatever. I'm going to stand here because there's no criminal, nothing against someone having a text message in their phone from another woman, and the woman gets mad about it.
She grabs me. She goes for the phone. I release. I get free of her, and I run.
For blocks?
Yeah, for blocks.
Surveillance video also shows Jabari talking to 3 strangers. She testified they offered to get her home. One of the bystanders can be seen speaking to Majors, who gestures for Jabari to get back into the car. He eventually leaves without her and goes to a hotel for the night. Jabari leaves with the bystanders.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
Yeah.
her back, fracture her.
See, my thing is this. Inside the car is the question, because when you see her standing there with the bystanders, you don't see any of these injuries. And I'm not saying she wasn't injured, but to me, I side-eyed her as well. I'm sorry. You are a woman who was scorned. You are a woman who was upset because your man does not want you anymore and he's receiving a message from another woman. And it's public. And you know what and you know what is at stake for him. You know. With that being said, let me order me something to eat real quick. With that being said, I just think that's foul. I think that's foul because I do believe there's some I don't know, there's some I don't know. Somebody that ain't sitting right with me.
Yeah, that did not happen.
What happened?
She went to grab the phone. I held the phone. I pulled the phone back. She came on top of me, squeezed my face, slapped me. That's all I remember.
So she ends up
Yeah.
with a 1-inch cut behind her ear, and
Laceration, yes, ma'am.
fractured finger.
Yeah.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew. That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't
I have
cause
no
them.
question.
What's interesting about the jury's verdict, it's so nuanced because they're saying you didn't intend
Right,
to injure her,
right,
but the result of your recklessness
Right.
injured her.
right.
Were you reckless?
I was reckless with her heart,
Not with her body,
not with her body.
but never hit a woman.
Never hit a woman. My hands have never struck a woman, ever. When the actual testimony came, the driver said, she did everything, meaning Grace. He did nothing, referring to myself.
Majors claims Jabari attacked him, ripping his coat, scratching his face and arm. These are photos he says are of his.
And these are actual photos. I mean, they're not like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, just being honest, like she just tore him up or anything. I'm not gonna say that. But it's very obvious that they was physical to each other. That's why I don't understand the verdict. You know, listening to the evidence, watching the video, I still don't understand the verdict. And I stand on that. I don't know. Man.
His injuries, but were deemed inadmissible in court.
My injuries were a scratch on my hand, from clawing for the phone, and I had a gash on my. At the time, I had a beard. Under my beard, I had essentially a fingernail scratch on my I guess my cheek from pressure.
You chose not to take the witness stand.
Yes,
Why?
ma'am. The driver.
You felt that was compelling enough. He had said enough.
Well, not just the driver. She was doing everything, he was doing nothing. Well, that's what I was going to say. Mr. Majors, did you see any injuries on her? No, I didn't. Clinical experts, the detective I spoke to, all who testified before I did. But after all of that, what was I going to add?
Jonathan, how do you feel During the trial, an audio recording was presented in court by the prosecution of Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari during an argument.
How dare you come home drunk and disturb the peace of our house? Coretta Scott King. You know who that is? That's Martin Luther King's wife. Michelle Obama. Barack Obama's wife. My temper, my shit, my trauma, blah, all that said, right? And I'm not saying I'm a great man. A great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me, that I support, that needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the Black community, as you're probably well aware, that
Period.
people are
We
saying, "Why is
did.
he
We
telling
did.
this woman to be like Coretta Scott King
I had a
and
lot to
Michelle
say about
Obama?"
that, bro.
Give us like the context of the conversation.
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be.
Uh-oh, my
to
bad.
be.
Okay.
You know, these great men, Martin, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that. I was attempting, and I did a terrible job at it, apparently. I was attempting to motivate, to enlighten, to give perspective as into what it is I was hoping to get out of the relationship. I think that's fair.
In her closing argument, your
I don't think that's
attorney
fair, bro.
said
Sorry.
that your greatest fear of being a Black man in America calling 911 came true, suggesting that race was a part of this. Do you feel that race is a part of this?
I mean, yeah, of course it is, you know, like, without question. I mean, that quote unquote guilty verdict, you know, well, guilty verdict, no quote unquote, you know, like, you might as well put that on my birth certificate.
You think a white man facing the same allegations would have been arrested, charged, convicted?
I'll take it further. If you watch those videos and you reverse that, and you saw a Black man chasing a young white girl down the street, screaming and crying, that man is going to be shot and killed in the streets of New York City. That Black man will feel that.
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office responded, saying in part that they do their speaking in court. Jabari's attorney responded to this interview, saying it is not at all surprising that Mr. Majors continues to take no accountability for his actions. His denigration of our jury system is not dissimilar from the above-the-law attitude that he has maintained throughout this legal process. The timing of these new statements demonstrates a clear lack of remorse for the actions for which he was found guilty and should make the sentencing decisions fairly easy for the court. Ms. Jabari will continue to speak the truth and seek justice in the appropriate forums in a continued effort to respect our legal process.
Grace, as you know, was arrested and charged for assault, but will not face prosecution.
Right.
You have thoughts on that?
That's hurtful. That's really hurtful. And why is it hurtful? Because, again, I know what happened. Movies don't matter. Work don't matter. Yale education doesn't matter. In that moment, what I felt was, oh, I'm nothing.
Throughout the trial, Major's girlfriend, actress Megan Good, was right by his side. She was also present for our conversation.
You've mentioned Megan a few times.
Yeah.
We've seen her right by your side, going in and out of court throughout the whole trial.
Yeah.
How would you describe your relationship?
I'm trying to figure out how Megan Good went from being married to a preacher to now being thrown in the limelight because Jonathan Majors and his hotmess.com, looking at her sitting there, very pretty, by the way, looking like somebody's wife. He talking about she the one. Oh, she gonna wait for you when you get out.
It's a miracle. She's an angel. She's held me down like a Coretta, you know. I'm so blessed to have her. You know, the relationship is still fresh, but you know, I think I found her. Yeah.
The one.
I hope she just stick with me.
Major's career as a rising Hollywood actor is now in limbo. Future appearances playing Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe have been scrapped.
You hear the verdict
Yeah.
the same day Marvel drops you. Your reaction?
Same hour. Same half hour, I think. It's like the world stopped.
Mm.
You know, it's like you work so hard for things. And then, you know, it's done, you know? And in that same breath, I thought, man, that was cool.
How so?
I was a supervillain, you know? And I got to play multiple characters, you know, with a group of people that really cared nothing about anything else except making really cool movies and giving their actors.
I will say that this is the part that's very disappointing after everything. I know she's sitting back very, very happy that this is going on, that she is the victim. They are protecting Grace, all the things. But no, I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about any of it.
Whatever they need to.
Because I don't care what nobody says, she's a woman scorned. You know, she's pissed seeing Megan sitting up there with him. And he's not. If he would have said to her, I will take you back. I love you. Let's work it out. He would not be sitting here. I swear to God, he would not be sitting here. Period.
Tell those stories. And I'm so proud of it.
You think you'll ever work in Hollywood again?
Yeah. I pray I do.
I know that the DA office went after him. They saw a black man on the rise, wanted to take him down. I don't care what nobody says. But she went along with it. The stuff in the car is what I speak of. Hey, you there. To me, you both were in the car. The driver has their opinion. But why is it that only your testimony about what happened in the car is the only thing that's the truth? That's all I'm saying. All right, y'all. We just broke down the interview. We're here the last part here, then we're going to end it. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is Cameshia Reviews. It's a new year, baby. Interviews popping. News popping. Cameshia Reviews, the queen of reality TV. And that means real life and TV. Period.
It's God's plan and God's timing.
For those who say, look, he's convicted at this point, what would you say? I mean, do you deserve a second chance?
Well, I think I do. I think I think I do. I hope other people think that.
Majors is set to be
So, hold on.
sentenced next month, but it says he and his legal team plan to appeal.
I mean, it's, you know, I know they're going to appeal. I do not know if anything's going to happen. I do believe it's not going to make it. I just don't. And I'm not saying that he's not going to make it like he won't come. I do believe that eventually this is going to turn into his redemption story if he plays it the right way. But we'll see how this goes. All right, y'all. Love y'all 2024. This is Cameshia Reviews. It's been a firestorm of a week. Check out all my shorts. Been covering the Cat Williams story. And thank y'all for watching. Those videos are doing very, very well. With that being said, welcome back. Welcome back to Cameshia Reviews. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's get ready for a good show. It is 2024.
New year and new things. Let's go.